All right. Thank you so much for that answer, Pastor. The next question we'll be dealing with today on the Hour of Light. It says, what are some of the things that the scribes and the Pharisees do that makes God see them as hypocrites? And secondly, and how does God want us to live our lives differently? Thank you, sir.
Amen. Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Reagan. Yeah, what are some of the things? So it's like we are getting to, okay, specific examples now, saying let us look at some examples. Now, if we are talking about the lifestyle of the Pharisees, the best place in the Bible to have a clear picture of their lifestyle, as Jesus explains it, will be going further in the book of Matthew. We are still dealing with Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to continue there for a long time. But today we are looking at verse 20, and that verse 20 is going to take us to verse 23. To chapter 23. So now I want to go to chapter 23 of Matthew and then look at verse number 4. Now, this is what verse number 4 says. It says, now there are so many things. I'm just trying to give one example of the lifestyle of the Pharisees so you can know what Jesus was talking about. He said, for they bind heavy burdens. The Pharisees, the leaders of, in quote, the church in those days, they bind heavy burdens and grievous burdens, for that matter, on the people to be born and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. Now, what is the Lord talking about? Now, there are people, there are Christians, there are believers, there are religious leaders. There are servants of God, there are children. I'm just using all words to just talk about us, that expect and demand so much from others, but they themselves do less or even do nothing. They place so much burdens, they demand so much when it comes to righteousness. They preach it ferociously. This is how we should live. This is what God says. And they are quick at judging others. The judge has put burden, but they themselves are not doing what they are expecting other people to do. That was the lifestyle. God expects that we should be first doers of what we expect from others. If you tell people it is important to give, do you believe in giving? If you tell people that fornication is bad, are you a fornicator yourself? If you tell people adultery is bad, are you an adulterer? If you spank your child, rebuke your child, trying to force discipline on your child, are you better than your son or your daughter? Are you doing what you are asking him not to do? Are you practicing this lifestyle you are trying to correct him and lead him away? When it comes to standards, are you better than your child? If on given matters, an examination was to be set for you and your child, or your church member, will you do better than him, or he will do better than you? This is the way God looks at things. In fact, I believe that the Lord wants that anything when it comes to the issues of righteousness that we ask people to do, we're actually doing it. It is built on this premise that the only reason why you can preach something to others is because you have experienced it. Otherwise, why will you preach to people what you have not experienced? Why will you ask people to serve God when you are not serving God? Why will you ask people to have self-control when you don't have self-control? Why will you even try to take out the speck from people's eyes when there's a log blocking your eyes from seeing? Now, God does not want us to live that kind of lifestyle. But this was exactly how the Pharisees and the scribes were living. And the Lord was saying, as for you, if you want to have access into the kingdom, then you have to do better than that. Even the world knows that you have to do better than that. Praise God. God bless you, Brother Reagan.